Alright guys, welcome back to Grow the Earth. Before we get started with this video, I just want to tell you guys that I do have media in other places other than YouTube where you're watching this. I've got a Facebook group, I've got TikTok, I've got Instagram, I've got Rumble. Now all these places are where you can find information. There are some information in certain places that is not in others. So guys, if you're interested in what I'm saying and what you're seeing on these videos, please go visit my other places to get as much information as you can about your garden and how to grow it better. Now let's get on with the video. Alright guys, well today we're out here in the garden and I've got a really good thing for especially you smaller gardeners. And that has to do with composting. Now, I have a big compost pile over there that I throw wood chips in and leaves and grass and most of the scraps from our kitchen and everything else into. But I realize that a lot of you guys don't have the ability to have that much room and so forth to do that. And the little tumblers that you buy can be quite expensive and, you know, they take up a little bit of room too. But I want to show you guys a way that you can compost straight in your beds. Now, what we have in our kitchen is this little guy right here. It's basically a little trash can. What normally you'd probably see in a bathroom. But we use liners in it. And this gets all of our kitchen waste. This gets all of our banana peels, our peels from our apples, apple cores, the coffee we make coffee in the morning, so the coffee grounds and all that go into here. And this is something that you can actually put straight into your garden beds without any fear of robbing nitrogen or anything like that. As long as it is called green waste, which would be, you know, any fruits or vegetables, things like that. As long as it is not a product of wood, any kind of tree, leaves, you know, paper, cardboard, things like that, it will not rob nitrogen. This is actually going to add nutrients and nitrogen to your soil, and it's also going to do another thing of it's going to feed the worms that you have in your beds. This is the kind of thing that they love to get their hands on. They love to be able to eat breaking down material, and they love scraps like this. So this is going to bring your worms in, this is going to bring your other critters in to break this down. It's all going to go below the surface, it's going to be nice, it's not going to smell, the whole 9 yards. And what this is called is actually called trench composting. And simply what we're going to do is we're going to dig a trench here, and I would suggest digging down as far as you can comfortably, as long as it didn't get too far into the native soil. And you just basically pour this out in the trench. You cover it back up, and in roughly 3 months, this is going to be gone. The other thing is, if you are up north, because we're down here in 9A, so we've got plenty of time, and to be honest with you, we may not even freeze enough to freeze the ground at all, but if you're up north where the ground freezes, you can do this right now. As long as you can work the dirt, you can put it in, and if the ground freezes, it will just basically be refrigerated. Because as your worms move down to stay in warmer dirt, this is going to stay there, and it's not going to, you know, if it breaks down, it's going to break down with bacteria. And then when the worms do come back up in the spring, they're going to have food sitting there waiting on them. So, again, we use this little trash can here, and we just simply put a liner in it. So, it's as simple as we're going to dig a trench. Oh, another thing is actually on the other side over here, the other day, me, the wife, and the kids went fishing, and we, of course, caught a couple of fish. So all of the fish heads and all the fish guts and the whole 9 yards, everything that we didn't have, that we didn't keep for fillets, I put there on that other side. Now, this is perfectly fine. I mean, the Indians used to do it. If you ever heard of Indians using to plant a fish with their corn, works just fine. And it will do effectively the same thing that this waste is going to do. Now, if you have a squeamish stomach, we've been collecting this for a day or so, so it's not going to look the greatest in the world. But as you can see, we've actually got some sweet potato peels from Thanksgiving. I'm going to need more of a trench here. We got bananas, we've got all kinds of stuff. There's a lemon peel. One thing I will tell you, that if you're going to put your your oranges and so forth like that, make sure that you don't have the little stickers that they usually put all over them, because that will remain in your garden bed once that waste is long gone. Now, if it's a little too much, you can just kind of break it up with your little shovel here. It's not going to hurt to put more dirt on top, because as that stuff breaks down, it's going to sink a little bit. So having a little mound of dirt is not going to hurt you. And the good point about this is that now you have effectively fertilized your soil. Now, as you can see, I did all this in 5 or 10 minutes, so it's not going to take you a whole lot of time. But the good thing is, now you have put fertilizer in your soil. That stuff right there is fertilizer. There's nutrients in it, there's micronutrients, there's nitrogen. There's a lot of things that are in that, especially like in banana peels. Those banana peels hold a lot of potassium. You know, they talk about the potassium in the fruit, but actually in the rind or the peel, there's actually more potassium in the rind and the peel than there is in the fruit itself. So you're adding a lot of nitrogen here that's going to break down very quickly. That is going to become available to whatever you plant on top of it. And if you're not real big on saving your eggshells and so forth like that, throw them straight into here. Whenever you bury them, they will break down. They may take a little longer, but they will break down. All of this stuff will break down. If you have worms in your bed, it'll go even faster, because the worms will just come and tear this stuff up. They love this kind of material. So guys, that is going to give you free fertilizer. It's going to remove waste from our landfills, and you get to give back to the earth what you've already taken out. All the nutrients that have been taken out, less of course what we've eaten, is now going back into the dirt, and it's going to help to grow more food. So we're being very conservationist. We're being very conservative with our stuff. We're conserving resources. We're conserving the energy that is coming out of the ground. You're keeping from having to put in commercial fertilizers and so forth. And it's all natural. It's 100% organic. So guys, if you like this video, if you like the information that you've seen here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go and check out my other places I have media at. You're probably going to see that in the little pre-video that I had before this one. And as always, I ask for you to pray over your family, pray over your garden, and have a great day.